Welcome to Myth Informed with your hosts, Sean and Dimitri. Today we're talking to the notorious Rucka Ali, a prolific YouTube creator, musician, and
pretty good, actually.
Part-time life coach. Rucka is best known for maximizing free speech rights, making Sargon a household name, and for casually bringing up Ayn Rand while ordering a triple venti soy no-foam latte. Welcome, Rucka.
What up, doe?
Jesus Christ, dude. I didn't know if you were giving him an intro or asking him out for a date.
I mean,
dude,
Rucka,
coffee. With all these people losing their Patreon accounts and a guy that has a song about title What the Black Say, how do you still have a Patreon account?
I thought you were going to promote our Patreon, you fuck.
No, well, that's a roundabout way of promoting it because everyone's getting kicked off.
Go sign up for our Patreon.
We have like 30 people. We purposely should get canceled on Patreon, in which case we would then make more money on another platform because we're making like $30 a month right now.
Help a brother out.
This is making it happen right here. We got this $30.
Yeah, funny thing is, you guys were like frozen for me for like 30 seconds.
That's
and
great.
I was like talking about how you were frozen. And then when you came back,
Now you're frozen.
No.
Jesus. This guy's
your
like,
situation.
are you in China? I know you're right. I know you write a lot of songs about it, so I figured you frequent often.
Have you considered maybe the problem is at your end?
Never.
No, it's never us. It's never.
It's never.
No?
We have like a T3 connection that colleges run on.
Well,
We made Brian get the most updated fucking cable out there. Thanks for paying for it, Brian.
You got it.
It's like $300 a month.
No way.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So Rucka,
is on your side.
It's for sure you.
Yeah. He's probably frozen again. Oh, there he is. Hey, there we go. What's up, Rucka?
what up, doe?
So we see people are getting kicked off of Patreon. You haven't been kicked off of Patreon. We're seeing legendary rappers come out of retirement. What's going on? What are some of the songs you're writing about right now? Is it more political stuff, or is it about the censorship that's happening in comedy, which is driving me crazy? Like,
Yeah, tell me about that. What's going on in comedy?
yeah, Rucka, you average like probably like a million and a half views on your videos, and you don't get paid shit from YouTube because they just take the shit down constantly. Telling you, man, Vimeo. That's the way to. That's the way to go.
Yeah, is Vimeo the way of the future?
Vimeo's coming back along with MySpace and
Along with Vine too.
well, there's a Vine too, actually. So
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
that actually is one of those.
Dude, you got your boy he's about to be another a Vine celebrity again.
That's right. Who do you mean?
Dreadmere.
Yeah, Dreadmere.
Oh,
Jesus.
hey,
I'm like
hello,
fucking Drew. Is he
Yeah,
in the
Drew.
background?
Oh, Drew's there.
Drew, you
Oh.
son of a bitch.
Why don't you say it to his face? He's right
Yeah,
here.
Drew. Okay, so we were talking about how we like interviewing Drew better than Rucka any day earlier.
So whenever you want to pop in and take the mic over, anytime.
Oh, man.
He actually can't hear you, so this is just you insulting me for no reason whatsoever.
Perfect. Did you not know that's the new angle of our show? Is we
just insult
we
everyone.
ask
and
people
then-
on here and we kind of roast them lightly.
I just got sick of people being stupid.
That's true.
You know, it's
Although
it's
in
so
your
stupid
case,
right
it's
now.
going to be a dark roast. It'll be
Hey.
super dark. Oh
No, Rucka's got the best stuff. So we met Rucka, Kilroy.
dude, you have the biggest
when you
man
say
crush. It's
when you say
unbelievable.
okay, fine, whatever. Like
It's like if you had to suck one person's cock in the universe.
typically
This
it's
is
Brad
it.
Pitt for people, or like
Yeah,
George
that's me.
Clooney.
Yeah.
Mine is Rucka.
Rucka, obviously.
Yeah, right.
So, you
Right.
know, get those pants off, Ruck.
This turned into Let's Talk Gay Hour. And it's funny because Rucka actually sent me a text. He said, when did this become Gay Hour? I was like, it's always Gay Hour.
Yeah, 24/7.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. It happens.
Rucka, did we lose you? Are you there? Are you,
Nah,
Right
he's
here.
he just can't handle it. Hey, Rucka, tell us,
Yeah.
after 1 million subs, is it all downhill? I mean, are you basically done? Is that it?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Just keep riding Ben Shapiro's coattails. He loves you.
Always.
I have a crush on Rucka. Rucka has a crush on Ben Shapiro. That's fact.
It's a vicious circle, vicious cycle.
Yeah. It's the bad love triangle.
So, Sean, what's going on in the comedy scene? Look, I turn to you for what's going on?
So, what's happening right now is you're seeing a lot of comedians like Kevin Hart just lost the Oscars, which is funny because the joke there is Brian wrote this is a really good joke. Brian said, look, if the Oscars are always complaining they don't have enough black people. Like every year they're like there's not enough black people represented at the Oscars, right? So they get Kevin Hart to host it and then they scare him away. Like how terrible is that?
Right.
The irony
for being black,
not for being black, but for one of his bits that he did 9 years ago. You know,
what was the bit?
The bit was about.
It was a tweet.
No, it wasn't a tweet. It was his bit. It was in a comedy special,
False.
and I've heard this several times.
Fake news.
And no, look it up on you have Google.
The Google machine?
Yeah, look it up. No, it's a part of one of his specials, and he's like, look, my kid had his first gay moment the other day, right? And so like people are laughing or whatever. He's like, you don't really know what to do in your kid's first gay moment besides try to not let him be gay, essentially, right? So he was implying in the joke that, being gay is a choice, right? So he was like going to knock it out of him as a father,
As an FYI, every article mentions anti-LGBT tweets, but hey, maybe it's a bit.
It could be both.
Anyway,
it could be both.
Point
but the
is,
bit is that's what he got in trouble over.
But he's getting really good publicity, like from USA Today and wherever. Well, because it's a.
I don't like that he quit. I think he should have did it.
No.
Are you kidding?
No. I think it was a big win for him because what he ended up doing is saying, fuck you, I don't need this. And also, I've apologized in my way. I don't need to do another fucking overt apology and have this be about me, so let me step away. What I'm saying is it's because they can say that this is people attacking a minority.
Yeah.
It's the day is winning for people who, essentially don't want to apologize twice, which is nice.
I don't know. I don't think he should have quit. I think he should have did it.
No.
He should have did it in protest. What do you think, Rucka?
Well, like I said, he was kicked out for being black.
So that's it. That's the explanation.
No, but
just because he's black.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not true. It's not because he's black.
Of course it's not true, but the whole point is you could say that in a sarcastic fucking Rucka way.
Oh, in the social justice way, you can say that.
Yeah.
But
say what?
He got kicked out because he was black.
Exactly.
Well, no, he was. He was saying, if my son is gay, I'm going to kick his ass. He was kicked off the show for being black.
See? That was the bit. Yes, exactly right. And he says, he said that, yeah, and it's a black culture thing, unfortunately. Like, it's weird, like, growing up, like, we, in the black culture, like, homosexuality was, like, a big, like, taboo, like, it's like in the Indian culture, too, where they fucking...
Dude, anything.
What about?
Hey, tell us about the Mexican culture. How is it there?
Oh Jesus! I was talking about how racist Mexicans were earlier. They are. You've never seen a bigger rivalry than between Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. It's the dumbest shit. And they just say like the only difference is they say some words kind of differently. Like that's it.
Is that the only difference between them?
That's it. Yeah, Mexicans. The Aztecs were their heritage, and Puerto Ricans. It was pretty much Spanish people having sex with black people, right? Essentially, that's kind of
mulattoes. Essentially,
that's what Puerto Rican is.
Pretty much
Biracial.
They're very hot.
Yeah.
I learn so much every time I talk.
This is a stimulating conversation.
Well, every time Sean is talking, it's like a fountain of knowledge.
Is it because he wants to suck your cock? I feel like that's.
I'm just trying to impress you right now, so we can go get dinner afterwards and
a nightcap.
All right, so I'm going to take you guys on a journey.
Oh my god,
this is going to be hilarious. And there's only let's remember, there's only 8 people that watch the show.
Are you going to tell us about how Alexa plays you?
It's like our
songs?
Family members. No. So I'm gonna talk about Dima. I'm going to talk about one of Dima's arguments. So, the thing we love about Rucka is like we met him at.
I was
Kilroy.
wondering. I'm like, how's he gonna bring it up?
No. Yeah. So this is how it's gonna go. So like we met Rucka immediately at Kilroy. You guys started like the sibling rivalry. You like fucking hated each other. I loved him just because he hated you. And it was pretty funny, and it was a really good time. And no, we had a really, really good time. And so the thing about this group is that we always argue with one another. So one night, Brian had a really, really drunk night, and I'm like serious. Like Brian was like wasted drunk. This was hilarious. And me and Fritz were stone sober. Brian was, yeah, right. We had to drive him home. That's all. We were like, Brian, you're not driving home.
But that's like a Wednesday.
So yeah. so Brian makes his argument to us, and somehow this came up. I don't know what it was.
Because you were looking at tits on a phone.
No, I wasn't. It was probably Fritz doing that. No. Like it just organically came up. The notion that there's some men that fantasize about their wives getting banged or like really giving it to them, like really like you can't get up and walk around on Sunday morning type of fucking sex. And we're like, Brian, this is the dumbest shit we've ever heard, you know? And so I told him, I said, look, I'm going to tell you the majority of men do never have that thought cross their mind, like ever, right? And then we bring it up to Dima. You know, me and Fritz are like, yeah, no, that would never happen. We bring it up to Dima. Dima tries defending Brian, and he comes up with this argument that was the most ridiculous argument I've ever heard. He said, okay, so here's the deal. There's some men that fantasize. It makes them feel so good. It makes them feel so good inside that they want their wives to be happy. And if that's happiness is just getting pounded by another dude, that makes me happy. And that's where the fantasy comes up. It's like, there's no guy ever.
And the flip side.
That ever thought that thought and was not admitted to a psychiatric ward.
And the flip side of that is that there's a lot of porn out there.
Craziest shit I've ever heard.
There's a lot of porn out there about wives getting banged by dudes.
Porn actors aren't related, dude. You know.
Listen, porn. What is Rucka? What is it? Culture is downstream of politics.
Yes, Rucka.
Well, porn is downstream of culture. Okay.
Porn is your Saturday nights.
Just Saturday.
When Anna's not there.
Beautiful evening.
So Rucka, I guess the question that came out of that is, do you think there's a majority of guys that would ever have that fantasy in their life?
Majority?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. Do you think there's any?
Yes.
Really?
Well, you know, there's so many people.
That's true.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, someone's a freak, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Of course.
Great point.
Dima, do you have like anything interesting?
Not about your
Just remember,
topic.
Dima's the one that made the argument for the fantasy thing.
Of course.
So now anytime his wife's around, I'll just talk about like how he's thinking about some guy just coming over and just railing her, and then leaving. And your marriage is that much better.
If that gives you your jollies,
that's the weirdest shit I've ever heard.
That's
weird.
A thing.
It's weird.
We should. What I was going to talk about was what you opened with, which was the whole Patreon thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's just me.
Patreon. This is the dumbest shit.
Yeah,
Sean, go ahead,
Rucka. Tell me about what happened with Patreon.
You son of a bitch.
You fuck. He lost his voice. He can't talk.
I said Rucka's the best rapper that can't go on roller coaster rides. And Brian didn't understand what that meant. And I said, well, it's because he's short. Brian did not get the joke.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Brian.
Yeah. You tell us, Rucka, what's going on with Patreon? Why do you still have one?
Well, as I learned from Mythicist tweets this week.
Oh yeah.
Do you follow us?
I follow you. Yeah. Not that it matters these days, because you could fucking unfollow somebody and they still show up on your timeline.
That's true.
If your fourth cousin twice removed like their fucking tweets.
That's true. That's true.
But I think your opinion is especially important. You, if I'm not mistaken, are a free market absolutist. And so with that in mind, you know, you don't care that YouTube demonetizes you, they could kick you off because that's your core ideology. In theory, you can't care negatively about that. Is that correct?
Well, you can care negatively, but you can't point a gun at them and tell them to let you back on.
Right.
Now, the context to keep in mind, because I often need to explain things to people because they're too fucking stupid to retain any information, is that we live in a highly regulated society. We live in a highly unfree economy. Silicon Valley is one of the freer sectors of the economy, but they're still not that free in that the bigger companies, they do cut deals with the government. There is corruption because of the regulatory state, because of the lobby system. There are politicians and CEOs who are friends because of the lobby system. Also, like all sectors of the economy, Silicon Valley gets their lifeblood from the finance sector, which is the most regulated part of the economy. So if you really want to see new alternatives to Patreon pop up, if you really want to see alternatives to YouTube pop up, stop raping the bankers, stop raping the finance sector, let money flow freely from one hand to another, flow into Silicon Valley, flow into Silicon Beach, flow into fucking Manhattan Beach and every other goddamn beach in the fucking world.
Brighton Beach. Obviously.
And watch the free market produce an abundance of new options rather than sitting around and complaining about the fact that Patreon deleted a few accounts, which, by the way, you won't, tell me what your solution is. What would you like to see? Go.
Well,
it's a lot of
okay, so the
big knowledge bomb.
With Patreon, though, see, this is the thing that kills me about Patreon. Like, I understand what you're saying. Absolutely. Here's the thing. YouTube can dump PewDiePie if they wanted to, but they know he makes money, So there's certain contracts that are going to make you money. It was interesting with the Sargon one. They lost a shit ton of revenue just by losing Sargon. I mean, I know he's just one guy, but he was making, what was it, like $12,000 a month on Patreon. And so from a business standpoint, it's really not even smart to do. But at the same time, all I had to do was type in racist into the search bar on Patreon, and there's all these Patreon accounts that came up. There's one that lets you use the unlimited
N-word pass
uses of the N-word.
Yeah, what's so bad about? I mean, what's wrong with giving out N-word passes to people who pledge money?
But that's why Sargon got kicked off, because he said the N-word
on something that wasn't on Patreon.
A little hypocritical.
Because the accounts you found have 0 pledges and $0, so Patreon doesn't care about them. They don't notice them.
Aren't they a part of the brand? Aren't they a part of the company?
They haven't been caught yet because no one knows they exist except for you till now.
All I literally had to do.
You just outed Leah.
All I literally had to do is type the word racist into their own search engine, and it came up. It wasn't that hard of a find.
All right, nice of you to throw them under the bus on Twitter, by the way.
Absolutely.
Really, you're a cool dude, man. You're really a man of the people.
So wow, I didn't realize Rucka was going to be such a Patreon supporter.
No,
well, hold on, Sean. You're throwing a guy under the bus who specializes in providing racist humor. You're throwing my people under the bus?
That's true.
Listen,
yours is probably the best racist
Sean,
humor.
what he's doing is calling you a narc. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all that's
I don't know
happening.
if I'd be a narc.
100%.
I don't like that Patreon's like, fuck you and get the fuck out of here.
Here's what I find interesting. So
I think it's stupid.
Rucka, that and on your Rucka Reacts channel, which we're going to talk about at length, for sure, you got at the underlying problem here, which is the regulatory...
The law, the federal law,
the regulatory environment around the financial sector, which of course has, it has a lot to do with the Patreon and Silicon Valley, but at the same time, the average bear is not going to understand that those two are linked. So it's interesting when you talk about deep political philosophical connections like that. Is that your core, like your life fucking thing? You're going to talk about it and you hope that people start putting 2 and 2 together. And at some point, the Occupy Wall Streets of the world are going to be actually getting at the root of the problem rather than the bullshit that they're protesting now.
Well, first of all, when when you're bad-mouthing Occupy Wall Street, that's not a nice way to speak about half of your audience, because the Occupy Wall Street, half of them became Antifa, the other half became Trump supporters. So it's worth pointing out that these are all the same fucking people who on opposite sides of the whiner. coin. But talking about the fact that Silicon Valley would be providing more options if the money were deregulated, if finance was deregulated, that is just scratching the surface. So that is not deep philosophy. That is not the intellectual deep web. That is something that any libertarian mark can explain to you. What I'm explaining is the fact that we need to get back to individualism. We need to get back to reason as an absolute. We need to entertain the virtue of selfishness and rediscover the American spirit, rediscover the Enlightenment, but do it right this time. That would allow people to open their mind to something like capitalism rather than just making the case to them that it will make the internet better, because people, they want to do what's right. That's why Patreon is deleting accounts that make them money, because people, they want to do the moral thing. They're not all motivated by dollars and cents, as you can clearly see.
Yeah, but isn't everybody motivated by dollars and cents? I mean,
no.
It's not that. You're
Alex Jones. Okay, I would take Alex Jones. So he literally got obliterated from Twitter, YouTube, like everything. Like even iTunes is like fuck you, and like no one listens to iTunes. And so he's gone completely. Like he's got a website and he like puts up shitty videos or whatever, right? But here's the thing. With Alex Jones, I never took him seriously. I just thought he was hilarious, you know? So like the fact that he was making money or whatever, it never really mattered to me. It's just bizarre that these companies would take a look at that and say, oh yeah, we got to get rid of him because we don't like what he says. Who the fuck cares?
But some people took him seriously.
No one took him seriously, dude.
Sean. I mean, if you ran Patreon,
yeah.
Suppose a bunch of pedophiles are on there.
That's illegal. You can't. That's
no. They're not. They're not raping any kids. They're just promoting it. They're just saying we believe it should be legalized.
They're promoting something that's illegal. So you can
but they're saying it should be made legal. That's their mission statement. They are saying we don't endorse doing it until it's legal.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's
so it'd be a question
creepy.
about
That's
free
really
speech. No, it's a free speech absolutist question.
Well, no, I'd say in that case I wouldn't. Obviously, I'm not going to advocate for.
Who
is going to?
No,
by
look,
the way?
look. Amos,
besides the Catholic Church,
this Amos Yee thing is a really good example. This guy, that tweet,
he's not making any money.
No, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
The tweet that he posted a picture of like a 14-year-old. And,
that was disgusting, by the way. Instagram.
And what was the caption? The tagline?
The caption was like, and people wonder why there are pedophiles.
Is that why?
Yeah, and then like Melissa Chen went crazy. She was like,
but here's the thing: did he do anything illegal?
Like he promoted something illegal.
No, he didn't. He didn't say go out and rape her.
Ooh, it's a tough one.
But
man.
that's the knife's edge that we're walking.
Well,
now.
we didn't let him. Like when he came to Milcon, we were like, get the fuck out of here. We're not talking about any of that shit
because
here.
that was an image thing.
Well, but it also was a principle thing where it's like
Sean is on to something here.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean. So people have principles such as you not liking pedophiles in your home and platform
or at all, right? Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So you see, principles do come into play. So the people at Patreon, they look at Alex Jones the way you look at Amos.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just don't see it.
No, of course I see it. So then I have a question, and this gets to the underlying theme that I want to talk about is, you don't care how many people you reach, you just care that you're speaking your truth. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, when it comes to my like commentary content, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, because that content is it's relatively highbrow, I would say, which, take that as a compliment. It's not going to reach your average person. It's too upstream. And so rather than dumbing it down, which you could in order to reach more of an audience, you're choosing to make it complex, make it about the core underlying issues, which then you have to make 10 connections to get to what actually impacts people on a day-to-day basis. And you're choosing not to do that. You want to stick to your guns.
Well, what do you want me to say?
I think that there's a way to get the objectivist message out there that's more palatable. Make it about everyday issues rather than fuck it, like when we talked at here at what's it called at Kilroy, like you refused to talk about roads or things that actually matter to people.
I didn't refuse.
Yes,
I did talk
you
about
did.
roads.
No,
I talked about it.
Because when we started talking,
you guys talked about that the whole time.
when we started talking
all
about
we talked about was roads.
No.
All you guys did was
Listen,
yeah, all you guys did
here's
was
what
argue.
happened. I said, tell me practically how the objectivist, like hyper-libertarian ideals are going to impact shit that impacts me on a daily basis. And you were like, all you want to talk about is politics. That's piddly things. I'm up here. I'm talking about philosophy, bitch. I'm talking about life, moral principles. And I'm like, okay. So, I mean, at some point, I was like, okay, these are lofty goals, and they're great, and I love the fact that you talk about them, but you never got down to the ground level, brass tacks. How the fuck am I going to pay my rent tomorrow? How am I going to drive to my house if, Sean owns every road in my subdivision? Like that type of shit.
I wish I did.
All right. Well, rather than arguing over how that conversation went, 10 months ago, let's have the conversation now. It is undisputed by anyone who's not retarded that capitalism raises everyone's standard of living. Capitalism creates a higher standard of living, and it creates more jobs than people willing to fill them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, you say, yeah, but then what happens when things don't go your way? You want more regulation.
No, hold on.
You want more taxes. You want to fuck the rich. You want to fuck everyone.
Wait.
Sorry,
I want to. Well, no, but that's a good point because I want to bring up your personal superhero, which is Jordan Peterson. And he, of course. And so, basically, the person you call God is on record multiple times as saying, listen, capitalism is the best thing that's ever happened to anyone, but it always steers toward tyranny at some point, and you need someone balancing the scales to make sure that the dispossessed are not dispossessed, throw over the hierarchy, yada, yada.
Ugh, why do you listen to Jordan Peterson? The guy is such a mark.
Oh, that's
okay,
that's a whole
right.
segment of our show today.
So so your whole thing is all right. How do you
I didn't want to bring him up so early. I don't want to blow my load this early.
How do you make objectivism popular? Right, that's what you're saying. How do you popularize it? Right,
that was one of the things.
This is how you do it. You put Rucka, Shapiro, and Peterson on the same stage.
How many naked chicks?
And Rucka can curse. How many naked chicks?
Of course. How are you going to sell it without sex?
Jordan Peterson's like 80. He's he's been married for like 38 years.
It's true, but
he doesn't want any other chicks.
I'm saying you're going to be able to popularize that message even more by objectifying women.
Jesus,
that's
Christ,
what's going to do.
Really? Is that what? Wow, you and Fritz have been hanging out too much together. MGTOW.
I'm being real, son.
That's weird, man.
The point I was trying to make is that capitalism clearly raises everyone's standard of living. The reason that guys like Peterson still won't trust in it, the reason that people like him and presumably you and many people watching are saying that, oh, well, capitalism without any checks will, turn into fucking 1984 is because capitalism is the system of selfishness. Capitalism is the system of pure unadulterated reason. It is rational people looking at reality and trading and producing with long-term goals in mind. It's not about what can I grab, who can I rape and take their stuff today.
Right.
It's about how can I trade and build a reputation and have 10 years from now in mind and 50 years from now in mind when I'm making plans and investing.
Okay,
that's what people don't trust because they don't trust reason. And when you listen to Peterson and all the other geniuses of the intellectual deep web, what they're saying is that reason has its limitations, right? That reason is somewhat, it has a place, but faith has its place too. And the group, quote unquote, the group consciousness, the collective unconscious has its place as well. And evolution, quote unquote, gave us some innate conceptual knowledge that we also need to consider. And, reason is just one of a smorgasbord of things to consult. So they are hostile to the very the very idea of reason as an absolute, because that's pure unadulterated rational approach, which leads you to selfishness. And philosophers have a very hard time going towards pure reason, because pure reason tends to lead us towards selfishness. And that's what the founders of the U.S. gave us. They gave us a nation of where you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it's no coincidence that the Declaration was written by a man and in a time when men of the Enlightenment believed in reason fixed firmly in her seat.
Okay, hold on.
I just say this. I would hate to be his financial planner.
Oh my. Well, yeah, true.
Listen, capitalism.
I want to ask you this. While I agree with you in the moral selfish argument, you've definitely converted me on that, and I've talked to multiple people about it. So I am an emissary of sorts. You fuck.
I showed you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're also a Russian spy.
That's neither here nor there.
Is that what emissary means?
I want to... Oh, my God, that's not what emissary means. Anyway, what I want to ask is, much like the argument about the French Revolution, so many people being dispossessed, overthrowing the ruling class. So A is, when you get a bunch of people who are dispossessed, you not even for a second think that they're not coming after you. That's A. And
what?
B, if
are you talking about like
there's millions upon millions of people that have fucking
societies
nothing.
And like lizard people?
No, this is capitalist absolutism. This is what we're talking about.
Are you talking about ancient aliens?
And B, eye roller extreme, which is your MO. When you have someone like Jeff Bezos, who I absolutely he's
going to be the ruler of the world.
I love the fact that he's a mogul. He's
literally going to buy the world.
I love the fact that he is an incredible visionary.
He's never going to stop making money.
He goes out and he negotiates a ridiculous deal for that second headquarters that they're building in New York, which people are ripping him for. The guy doesn't need to make Amazon any more money.
Yeah.
He didn't need the PR headache that he got with this. He went out and he still negotiated a ridiculous deal for his company, which is where people start pointing at capitalism gone absolutely rampant. So talk about those two concepts and how you see them being defensible in the public eye.
I don't even know what that the thing about Bezos even was. I don't even know what you're referring to, but there is no public eye. There is only your eyes and mine. And what I am saying to you is you are looking for arguments to not have to commit to any principles whatsoever, which is what you see in the skeptic community. That's what skepticism is. It's lack of certainty. It's fear of having any knowledge whatsoever. Nobody's going to be displaced. Nobody's ever going to be dispossessed if people embrace reason. First, the intellectuals begin to understand what reason is. They integrate concepts with concrete reality. People begin to rediscover reason and rational egoism as the moral course. And then you would see over time, if that happens, which that's the difficult part, that's the battle that's impossible to win with you goaltending. But in a world where you love to look down at this average man of being incapable. So in a world where you and me and Sean and the very smart elites would open their mind up, these intellectuals, when these intellectuals speak about ideas, the average person does listen. So if it wasn't just me, if it was me and you and Sargon and all these quote unquote intellectuals speaking about these ideas, it would spread. So then once it spreads, the political changes begin to reflect that. It's not that some free marketeer gets elected president one day and then overnight all welfare is cut and everyone's on the street. No, it's like you begin to see
kind of trending that way.
You begin to see them phasing out. Should I just pause every time Sean has a wisecrack?
I think it's turning into that, dude. I think Trump being president is like proving that movie Ideology. Idiocracy.
I love Ideology.
Idiocracy, dude. It proved it right. Like pretty soon we're going to be watering plants with Gatorade.
It's like the deep throat web.
Yeah.
I get it.
The Rock is literally running for president.
The point is, that's why I asked that question, Rucka, is do you want to reach a mass audience or do you want to reach and I know you say that you're not in the ivory tower, but it feels like all you're talking to is the ivory tower. is, do you want to just reach that audience? Because
listen, I don't want to reach anyone. I just want to I want to speak my truth, and if the ivory tower hears it, that's great. I don't know if I'm the person they're checking for.
Right, but that's why I asked what the ultimate goal is. If the ultimate goal is, listen, I want to get some stuff off my chest, I don't care how it goes, then respect. If the ultimate goal is, listen, I have this vision of this utopia where fucking objectivism, rules reason rules the minds of people, then that's the approach that you're taking of massive amounts of sarcasm and negativity are not going to get us there. Because the reason why Jordan Peterson is popular, though you shit on him on a regular basis, is because his core message is positivity rather than negativity. And while shitting on people is fun, sometimes, if it's constant, people are like, shit, man, I'm going to tune into this channel, I'm going to turn in this video, and I know that it's just going to be, a lot of complaining about XYZ. That's why I was wondering, what's that core drive there? Is it
my message is positivity, motherfucker. Let me talk. I bring a decade's worth of viral hits behind me of having fun and playing games and celebration of life with me. I've got a 14-part series on my commentary channel and climbing of how to live sober. I'm helping people better themselves.
It's true.
What's Jordan Peterson fucking done for anybody in that term? Yes, I'm sarcastic. Yes, I shoot from the hip. I'm not nice, okay? I'm not a nice guy. I don't come here like, hey guys, you said you might have heard this, but here's what I say. No, I'm here to fuck. I'm here to fuck.
Can you please do one episode as a nice guy?
I do episodes as a nice guy. I've done. What do you mean? You clearly haven't seen what I've been doing. And Jordan Peterson rose to fame by taking on the PC establishment at his university or in Canada or whatever it was. They were coming for the gender pronouns, and he stood up to them with conviction. With conviction. If he took your advice and said, well, people, they want a positive message, he would have fucking done nothing.
No.
But he flipped it. He flipped it into a positive message as soon as the microscope was on him.
I gave him all the credit in the world to say that. That's
I am flipping it into a positive message.
I'm looking for it, dog.
Yeah.
It is a positive message.
Well, it's interesting, like how much atheists hate Jordan Peterson. Have you noticed this? They hate him.
No, I listened to your 14-minute video of that GQ. I was going to ask.
That's one video.
Sure. But in every
even in that video, I think I said something like, "We need something positive. We need here's what I'm offering in place of Peterson's incoherence." Yeah. But that's one video where I had enough of watching people marvel at, like, oh, Peterson, what a fucking smart guy. Oh, he's so good on the issues. Shut the fuck up. Everyone shut the fuck up for a minute.
Jordan Peterson, this would be great.
That's one video. And by the way, Dima, that's the one video you watched because it was juicy. Because let's see Rucka. Let's see Rucka roast Peterson. Yeah. So that's the one you watched. And I did 14 fucking videos called How to Live Sober, and you skipped over them because you want to fucking watch somebody get roasted. So don't tell me that positivity is the way when you're the one only watching the negativity.
First of all, I love people getting roasted. You're right. But secondly,
I do love it.
I did watch your
I love it too.
7 years of sobriety thing. And again, there was some, hey, I'm sober, this is awesome. But a lot of it was also, sarcastic, like there's people out there that tell you shit, you shouldn't listen to them, you should just follow the way of, philosophy and objectivism, which is good in that you're promoting the philosophy. I got the sense, and maybe because, I've hung out with you, a lot of it comes from this, and this is a feeling, it comes from an elitist kind of like, well, I know what's up, and you're clearly a fucking moron. Let me tell you how the world is. And granted, I have learned some shit, so you not that you don't know what you're talking about.
You guys are still fighting.
But the delivery is just fucking...
I'm looking down at people when you're the one saying the average person is too dumb to understand the relationship between Wall Street and Silicon Valley. I'm the one fucking saying the average person can and should live for his own sake and rise to his full potential. You're the one who looks down on the masses. You're the one playing philosopher king, sitting around with all the other marks, fucking talking about how do we engineer society. Don't give me that shit. I'm the one giving people a message. That's why when you look at the people watching my shit, the people watching my fucking commentary videos are young and they're inspired. They are not fucking West Bloomfield rejects, fucking podcast, fucking, fucking condescending to everyone from his fucking Milwaukee fancy studio. All right?
This is
I'm talking
top
to
class.
the everyman. So my message is working. It is reaching people. People get it. And, you get it too. So it worked.
The only problem is you're on our show, so your message actually isn't going to anyone. Because we have 10 people watching.
No, you know what? I got to give you props for that. You're absolutely right. On some level, I do look down at the majority of society thinking there's a reason why this country didn't, from its roots, do a direct democracy. Because even the founding fathers were like, man, 98% of these morons are morons. And so exactly that's why we have the system we have today. But the problem is that you have to talk to the average moron somehow, or you have to deliver a political message.
That's why Trump is so big, dude.
Exactly.
Celebrities are so big.
And somehow he squeezes his fucking message in there. And you're going to have...
Hold on. Yeah, because Trump doesn't talk shit because he's not, dark and negative. He fucking... They love him because finally someone's talking shit.
But it's both. There's some positivity in there, too.
Yes,
he's got
you're right. He also promises the average person things that he can't deliver. I agree.
That's true.
But here's the thing. The thing.
It's true.
Listen, you talk about, the average person is stupid. Look at the way you guys are acting about Patreon. Give me a clear answer. What do you want to do about Patreon? Well, it's complicated. No, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
I think it's simple.
It's not complicated at all. It's a free market system. Yeah. There are plenty of competitors out there.
Yeah.
And as soon as Alex Jones got banned, everyone said this would happen.
Yeah. Everyone's talking at once. What's happening right now?
No, Brian's. I don't know. Brian's talking about something.
What I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, Brian. What's going on? Hey, sorry.
Brian's really excited.
What I'm saying is that the fucking purge began with Alex Jones. Everyone knew that this ball would keep rolling into their fucking face, and once it happens with Sargon, now everyone's like, well, the shit has hit the fan.
But
I hope that people jump fucking ship.
Right.
And this ass clown, what's his name? Who the CEO of Patreon? I hope he gets so fucked for this,
like
for messing with people
or something. I don't know.
Whatever. It's it's his platform. He can do whatever he wants.
Aren't all the social media guys named Jack?
Yes,
that's a weird.
They are
weird
thing. They're all
Twitter.
non-Jews is what it is. And so what happened?
Interesting.
They're non-Jews.
Anyone named Jack is not Jewish. That's a
really. Is that a thing?
Do you not know Jewish names? Is his name Ben? Or fucking Adam?
Your name is Dimitri. That's not Jewish.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm Russian and I'm special.
Dimitri is not Jewish.
Oh, Dima's so Jewish.
Dima, he's just the Russians are full of it. They're not really Jewish.
Yeah, Doug.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
they don't believe in anything. They just care about eating.
Yeah.
Eating? No. What?
Eating.
Listen, you're the fat one here. I know why you bring this up.
Well, no, Russia really has to worry about where the next meal's coming from in some parts. It's pretty bad, dude. Yeah. You said it yourself. They were selling fucking cooked rats and shit when you were a kid.
That was Laos, you fuck.
Oh. I thought you said that was Russia. Well, Laos is not doing so well either.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Well, now you derailed us. Now you
got Putin.
You pick up the pieces. You fucking pick up the pieces of this conversation because it's done.
We have a idiot celebrity. You guys have a homoerotic.
I can't.
Action movie star wannabe.
Steer us, fearless leader.
Putin. No, that was it. I just want to make fun of your leader.
Guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
You guys have Putin.
Yeah.
Someone pick up this ball. I'm out. I'm
All
out.
right, so Dimitri, all right, what's your point? What are you trying to say? Like, listen, I told you. What do you do when you'd say, oh, we can't have direct democracy, which I agree with. But the reason we can't have direct democracy is because why? Not because people are stupid, which often they can be, but because we need principles to guide our politics. We need objective law. That is reality as the dictator of what our laws reflect.
But that's a pipe dream. I don't like. It's not a problem having a pipe dream as long as you realize.
What do you mean that's a pipe dream? Isn't that the point? When you murder somebody and you're caught, you go to prison. There you go. You just violated somebody's rights, and now you're getting.
Listen, I equate what you're and I don't disagree with you, but I equate what you're saying with what Richard Spencer says, in that he is principled in his belief that the ethnicities should be separated and fucking send all the black people to Florida, and then we'll figure out from there.
There's an argument against that.
Hold on. That's his pipe dream. He's never going to get it. He's a lunatic.
Yeah.
But he believes in it, and I can't fault him for believing some crazy thing. Just like with the objectivist ideal, I think it maybe at the end of the day it wouldn't be bad, but it's just never going to happen. Maybe I'm the one being negative about it because I just realized that.
Oh, breakthrough moment.
Maybe.
That's because you're getting old.
Listen, I think I'm glad we're on camera because we can reenact our earlier conversation, which you're misquoting. No. It's not that I'm saying, oh, forget politics. It's that you see objectivism as a political philosophy, which it is not.
No, it's downstream or upstream. Sorry.
It begins with you're Russian, you're educated. What's the first branch of philosophy?
The first branch of, I don't know.
Metaphysics.
Okay.
Okay. What exists is, in other words.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you ask fucking Jordan Peterson what exists, he'll give you a 10-minute rant about nothing. You know what? I'll tell you, according to objectivism, existence exists. Yeah. There's your axiom, your starting point. You can't go any lower than that. You can't contradict that. Existence exists. All right. And everything is what it is. And your consciousness is also self-evident. You can have Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson argue for 4 hours about what consciousness is. I tell you, consciousness, it's self-evident. You need to use it in order to argue against it. It's clearly there, and it begins with sense perceptions. You perceive things around you, and that's where your consciousness begins. Then you organize that material conceptually. You take what you've perceived and you organize it, and that now we've just discussed epistemology. Now, what should I do now that I exist and that I'm perceiving reality? I should act rationally. I should act rationally in order to survive. I know I'm talking in these abstract terms that no one will ever be able to follow.
No. You're not talking abstract terms, but even when the first thing you said is existence exists, you're going to have people that are going to say, listen, I just saw a ghost yesterday. He was clearly there. He was 6'2". This motherfucker chased me around the house.
God, how many people say that?
But I'm just saying that's just one example of people believing in crazy shit.
Okay, they're allowed to believe that, but if the intellectuals, if a big movement of intellectuals, and if it grows to become even the look today, listen, are you listening? Today
we can hear you.
Currently, virtually every intellectual is getting his notes from Immanuel Kant. There is not a philosopher in any department, unless explicitly Aristotelian. There is 99% of them. They are under Kant's umbrella, and they will not deviate past it. And that includes Sam Harris. That includes Dawkins. That includes all these, brilliant free thinkers. They will not think freely past the gate that Kant built around them 200 years ago. So I am saying, if instead of Kant, the intellectuals became Randians, quote unquote, they entertain objectivism, that can become what the average person is more influenced by. Because today, these dumbasses talking about ghosts, they are influenced by modern philosophy. So that's what I'm saying. It's an intellectual revolution that we need. It's a philosophical, moral revolution. That's all I'm saying. But you want to argue about roads. Fucking roads?
But that's how you're going to reach the common man.
No, it's not.
Well,
no, it's
it
not.
is.
People want happiness and they want to be moral. Look how many people out there are looking for happiness. They're looking for the answers. That's why you said Peterson's out there. He's talking about a path to order. He's saying clean your room. I wish he would talk more about happiness. He's kind of dismissive of the very concept. I'm saying happiness is what makes life worth living. There you go.
So by the way, to summarize what he says happiness is when you have a burden, like a load to carry. When you have responsibility, that's what makes a human happy. And I mean, honestly, when you think about it, it might be true.
John Lennon said happiness is a warm gun.
Okay, and here's what I'm saying.
He also said Yoko Ono was a really beautiful woman.
She was awful.
She was awful. She was terrible. Yoko Ono. Burn. Take that, Yoko.
So I will offer you that what Peterson is grappling at is the fact that when you do what's required for you to survive, that is when you are rational and you set goals and you achieve them, it makes you happy. It gives you you earn self-esteem that way. And I think that's what he's grappling with, but because he won't deviate beyond what the academic rules have allowed him to go, he can't quite embrace happiness in full. So he says that, oh yeah, when you have a load you're carrying on your chest, that's what makes you happy.
They say, yeah. Well, they say Jordan Peterson's big because there's a lot of people without dads.
That's true.
And that's a
shit.
fucking fucked up statistic.
Rucka, tell me. So
I like him because I didn't have a dad.
Whatever. No, way to fucking whatever I was gonna say
sounds
is
like,
pointless now.
Sounds like a lot of chicks I knew in the 90s.
I think we should talk about dads for 15 minutes.
Yeah, chicks
and
have a dad complex.
Am I privileged because I had a dad? Is that
you are, dude. You're privileged. You're dad privileged. That's gonna be the next one.
Can I offer you some insight?
Yeah.
I think the reason a lot of people don't have dads, and that the reason that a lot of people's dads are fucking emasculated and set a bad example of masculinity, is because a generation or two ago, reason and structure and setting long-term goals kind of went out the window with the hippie revolution and all these morons.
That would have been awesome, yeah.
So the family and kind of what it signifies is what was thrown away. And Peterson is saying, no, have order, sit up straight, have responsibilities, live for more than just the range of the moment. So I wish he was more consistent with that aspect of what he says. But that's what I will offer you. So yes, it is the fact that a lot of boys need someone to look up to, but it goes deeper than just the literal father. It's the masculinity, it's the grasp of reality that we're grappling at.
No. Rucka, do you think they should legalize marijuana, federal wide? Good.
Yes.
Well, it's a libertarian principle, of course.
Well, I don't know.
Just legalize everything.
I don't know if it's a whatever.
That was a.
It's pretty. It's smart to do.
That was just
on all sides.
That was not a good Rucka question.
It's not by. Well, I don't know. I just want to make sure because if you would have said no, I'd have been like capitalism.
No,
of course. It's it doesn't violate anybody's rights for you to smoke weed.
That's right.
It's almost is there anyone ever paint you as an anarchist?
Sometimes, but then I need to explain to them I'm not an anarchist. And
self-defense and yada, yeah.
Yeah, I hate how anarchists are out there talking about Rand like she's one of theirs. She's not.
So V for Vendetta, you mean the guy in V for Vendetta? He was an anarchist, right?
Nah, I mean he was against the government and he
wanted to destroy it. That's what an anarchist is, right?
No,
I hates government.
I don't quote Jonah Goldberg very often, but in his not Jonah, Jonah, not Jeffrey. Jonah. He said in V for Vendetta, the heroes and the villains alike are fascist.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're all trying to do the same thing.
And America's broke as shit.
Well, it's all about England. But
that was my favorite part. They showed Americans scrounging around like it was Laos, I guess, eating rats or whatever they do in Laos.
Most people don't know where Laos is.
Well, that's what America was in that movie. That was pretty funny.
Hey, Rucka, I want to know. I don't know if you heard, but Amazon raised their minimum wage to $15 an hour. And people were like, and people still weren't giving
$15 an hour.
Yeah,
where in Amazon?
Amazon, yeah.
Shit.
What was that?
But they cut all bonuses
Oh, Erica's got the
Oh,
details
shit,
here.
I didn't even hear that.
They cut bonuses, cut time off.
Well, then never mind. Okay, because I was gonna say that does nothing for fucking Bezos. So why did he do it? And I thought that was gonna be the answer was gonna be moral selfishness, as he knew that he needed the approval of the public eye. But
Bezos is going to buy Canada and sell it to China, just for fun. Just like he lost a bet. The guys.
Maybe if you guys put the lady on camera, you would get more viewers.
Hey, we thought of it, but then Dima showed up, so I was like,
she won't
damn it.
wear anything skimpy. She's not following the fucking the message, Erica. God.
Jesus Christ! You know the reputation we have, right?
You don't know what it is. More,
And you're
more
like,
skin to win.
feeding right into it.
Of course, you have to. You have. If you don't feed the trolls, then they get hungry.
Fritz was fucking around, but he was like, "Oh, MGTOW, I get it." I'm like, dude, you're crazy. He's been having girl problems lately.
We just had Karen Strawn on.
Yeah,
We're gonna be crucified for being MRA supporters anyway.
That's
so who
true.
cares?
That's true.
You know, might as well lean into the shot.
It's crazy, man. Rucka, are you an MRA?
I am a rights advocate. I'm not a men's rights advocate or a women's rights advocate.
I'm the same way.
I
say everyone should.
Who's
have
the
rights.
most oppressed person in America? What group?
Those are two different questions. Which person or which group?
Well, besides
in America?
you, yeah.
Why are we talking about
Who's
America?
winning? Who's winning the Impression Olympics?
What's the most oppressed country in the world?
No, not country.
Yeah, why not?
Because then you're going to be talking about the fucking pygmies.
Saudi Arabia.
So the most oppressed group, and what I mean is the most vilified and falsely imprisoned group,
Objectivist.
would have to be businessmen.
Not bankers in specific.
I was going to say also the Jews.
Oh yeah, finance sector, but yeah, businessmen for sure. Like businessmen are the most hated, and absolutely, the finance sector. All they basically have to deal with in life is regulators. That's their primary fucking thing that they need to overcome before they can begin to do their job.
Do you think it's innate anti-Semitism? It's the historical hatred of the Jew banker.
Oh, the reason why my company didn't do well is because I'm Jewish.
He was asking me a question, Sean.
Yeah.
It's not that they hate the bankers because the bankers are Jewish. It's they hate the Jews because they hate bankers.
That's a good
So
point.
They hate Jews. Okay,
so think about let's go back to medieval times for a minute. All right, most people were Christians, real Christians, not these fucking Jordan Peterson,
right?
Fucking like real people. We're not fucking. We're not. This is not your fucking televangelist, in his air conditioned arena.
Joel Osteen, baby.
Yeah, this is not Joel Osteen. This is fucking. This is misery and famine, fucking Christianity. This is ruled by the king and the pope.
Yeah,
and.
Well, Gentiles couldn't loan money.
The Gentiles could not loan money with interest, and then the Jews could religiously do that. And so they're resented, of course, because they're making money in this way that others out of envy. But more fundamentally, even than that, it's the fact that they're thinking long range. They're thinking abstractly. They're saying, yes, I'll give you money today, but you're going to pay me back with interest next year. And that's ultimately what religion was preaching against. Ultimately, what the morality of altruism and what the epistemology of Christianity and of religion says is you can't think rationally. Who do you think you are? As Peterson might sound. Who do you think you are thinking long range and thinking that you can think independently and that you can grasp reality and live according to reality and take control of things? Who do you think you are being rational? So that's ultimately why bankers were hated, and of course the bankers were Jews. And today, the degree to which people are antagonistic to capitalism, you see the Jews are pretty high on the list of who they're upset with.
Yeah.
And capitalist societies such as United States in its freer days was the place that the Jews could all run off to escape persecution.
For now, I mean,
they're an insular group. When you think about it, the Jews have been getting their ass kicked for like thousands of years.
Well, it's the canary in the coal mine, man.
Do you realize? You guys are like all of the bad guys in Rocky films.
But you realize that's the
You've lost every single
that's
war.
a biblical thing. Did you know that?
What?
that part of the myth of the chosen people, well, I say myth because I think it's all myth, but the myth of the chosen people is you're always going to get kicked because you're so fucking awesome that everyone
It's
else
just them
is,
gloating. Like,
well,
we're
it's
the
like
best.
it's like people hating, Pickett, the Yankees or the Golden State Warriors. It's you want to hate the guy that's winning.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you know? I don't think the Jews were persecuted nearly as bad in like the Middle East and in in Islamic.
I agree.
Well, they weren't
areas.
very
I
free
agree.
there, so
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree
right.
100%.
Well, I don't know. We would have to look at different periods, but yeah, the Jews in particular, I'm sure that there were targeting of these infidels, but the Jews in particular were not hated qua Jews the way they were in Europe, and that is because the hostility really does come from the banker meme.
Yeah.
It really does come from loaning money and charging interest. In Islam, the Prophet Muhammad himself was rich. He was a business mogul.
Well, he was a businessman as far as a businessman marries two really rich women and takes all their fucking money from them. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm not educated.
Yeah, that's what
that's going to be your next video series.
He married some chick. He was like a cougar chaser. And he
Rucka
marries
on
like
Islam.
a 50-year-old woman, and then like she dies, and he gets all her money, and then he marries mother, and then he like has sex with 18 different chicks, and one of them was 9 years old. It's a pretty fucked up story. But the Jews were welcome to get nerdy on you guys. The Jews were welcomed into under Cyrus the Great in Babylonia. They were kind of slaves, but they were also welcome, and they were seen as spiritual leaders in the community and shit. That's when Zoroastrianism clashes with Judaism, and you get more of the
Zoroastrianism impacted Judaism
100%. The Zoroastrians were the ones that were fuck you, we're gonna kill you and your whole family if you fuck with us, and the Jews came up against them, and that was it. And so it's just funny, you have been getting your ass kicked for thousands of years, though.
That's every Jewish holiday is we got our ass kicked and then we eat because we survived.
That's great, dude.
It is what it is.
That's funny.
I wonder in the post
Christians are badasses.
In the world of nuclear weapons if something like that could ever happen before we kill ourselves entirely. So
no,
that's a morbid fucking question.
Yeah, dude.
What's the question?
Well,
are we going to kill ourselves?
During the Cuban Missile Crisis, we were 2 people away from utter world, annihilation. What if someone eats a goddamn magic mushroom and then just hits the wrong button?
I think it takes a lot of there's a lot of checks and balances in place.
Yeah.
When it comes to nuclear weapons, it's not like Trump can lose his temper and just button.
Right. And
True.
The other thing about nuclear war is it's not going to kill us. This is what's going to happen. It's going to fuck us really bad, and there's going to be a couple living.
What are you talking about?
And there's going to be mutants on the earth because humans are going to evolve into something else, and
the evolution doesn't work that fast.
we just fucking made it faster with nuclear weapons.
Yeah, and then maybe that's it. It'll go faster because of the
with nuclear
radiation.
weapons, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I was like a historian and a scientist.
Yeah, I know all about science, and science is. I read science books on the weekend. No, I don't at all.
I thought we were going to talk about.
Oh, I was going to talk. Okay, so this is the best argument against white nationalists. This is a great segue right here.
Florida can't handle all the black people.
No, white nationalists. So their whole thing is we hate white people, right? That's the thing. No. We love white people. Sorry, that's funny.
You do?
No, white nationalists.
They're Mexican?
They're okay, let's just be all white, right? But if you think about it, most people are not all of any one race anymore. They lost. It's over.
Right.
You can't have just a white society anymore. It's over.
But what's his name is going to claim is that you can distill some sort of whiteness into a cultural aspect.
What?
Maybe it's something stupid as in the height,
it's over, man.
The
they
height
lost.
of the pants that you wear.
They lost, dude. It's over. Argument's over.
Whether you say, whatever. Axe versus ask.
I guess.
It could be something as simple as
it's
that.
so stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, listen, that's the best argument against white nationalism?
I think so.
No.
I think it's over.
All right.
They're done. I think it's done. I think They failed, you know? Like Hitler gave it his best shot and he fucked up and got killed, and America came in and kicked the shit out of him, and now everyone's some kind of other race. In the future, it's gonna be like tan Americans. That's
Dude,
what
but
it's
this
gonna
is
be.
the point:
Like
is you're always gonna
super America.
This is the dumb thing: is you have fringe groups that believe in
Ultraman,
in the fact that there was no moon landing, the fact that there's a flat Earth, that vaccines aren't real. And yeah, you have a small group of people who believe in white nationalism. Why do we have to be ultra violent against them? No one's punching anti-vaxxers that I know of in the face.
you should be punching anyone, dude.
What the fuck? Exactly. You shouldn't be punching anyone.
Yeah.
You're always going to have a fringe that believe in some stupid shit. So just go with the zeitgeist, live your life, go clean your room, and fucking buy an ice cream
Did you just
cone.
like turn into Jordan Peterson like in 30 seconds?
Dude, you're gonna, you want to take a positive message.
Brian loves Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, well, we went to see him together.
And Brian had a father.
So did I.
So Brian's father must feel bad about himself.
He's not.
Just kidding, Brian.
He is a net positive on society.
I love Brian.
And no matter how much you hate on him or...
Jordan Peterson, are we talking about still?
Yes.
You still talking about this guy?
Or pick apart his fucking points, which you fully have the right to.
Yeah, man.
You have to admit he's the net positive.
I still got to say, him and Shapiro, you and Shapiro, Rucka, it's going to
I will admit no such thing.
Like you and Shapiro, it'd be interesting. Like he would be like,
if you made a gay porn,
super analytical, and you'll just
that would go viral for sure.
Probably. I heard my song is already being used for gay porn.
No shit.
Oh, you heard? You mean you watched it? But no, people like tweet at me.
Oh, man. And then you watched it. I'll watch it. Send me the link.
What?
Dima likes gay jokes. That's good because they say the people that hate gay people the most are really gay, right? And like you love gay people,
for sure.
so like we know you're not gay.
Listen, I've thought about this very objectively, Rucka.
And you married a woman.
It would be so easy to be gay. Like you always get to fuck.
I would love it, man.
You get to be as ridiculous and flamboyant as you want.
Like
people give you a pass because we're all into oppressive. You get a lot of.
It's not even that. It's like think about it.
You get more oppression points than a straight person.
Think about it. Like
it's all. Think
about it realistically. Like
when
you're 20 and like all you want to do is have sex all the time. Like you just have the guys over and be like, oh, we're gonna play Mario Kart, and then like intermission blowjobs, and then like back to Mario Kart. Like that would. That's an awesome lifestyle.
Do gay dudes, if we had enough of a following to do a poll,
have to hate sex.
I'd love to know how many gay dudes do Mario Kart parties.
Why? They're dudes. Like they play Mario Kart too, man.
Maybe they like fucking nail painting. I don't know.
What? No, dude.
Maybe they like.
There's heterosexual guys that like
shit?
nail painting.
Maybe. But
there's heterosexual guys that want other heterosexual guys to have sex with their wife, and
true.
just as long as it makes her happy.
It's a contingent. It's a fringe free contingent.
Yeah.
It is interesting. It is interesting to see you become such a Peterson fan. Obviously, he doesn't challenge you very much. He's kind of like the stupid man's Rucka.
Jesus
and it's just so cool to like watch it happen. Like you telling me, oh, your ideas are too complicated. They're too abstract. When all Peterson does is throw big words out that he doesn't even understand. All he does is wax endlessly in a way that his audience can't follow. And then it's like, oh, finally someone's speaking the way that I can understand. It's so cool to watch. I'm sure the last time I was on this show, you were like probably lukewarm on Peterson. It's cool to watch you. And let me finish, goddammit, Sean. It's nice to see you and the rest of the this whole anti-SJW skeptic community predictably become Petersonians. I guarantee a year from now you'll be telling me how, religion is not for me, but, the people need something. The people need something to follow. It's not, I'm an atheist technically, but, the people need some religion. It's better than communism. And a year after that, you're going to be wearing a fucking yarmulke and telling me that my pagan message is not welcome on your program.
Your pagan message.
Listen,
People in North Korea literally think Kim Jong-un is a god.
Rucka, let me just say
They
that
literally think that.
fucking when I say that this guy is a net positive, I mean we need to take baby steps. You want to jump in the deep end, and that's cool. And you are more than welcome to keep doing Rucka Reacts.
We
the people waiting.
We need to take baby steps towards what?
Hold on, awkwardly waiting for your intro music to end, and then getting into whatever the opening sarcastic remarks are of that channel.
You watched one of my videos.
You guys, you got to get him in one of your videos, dude, and then you could just like slam him
way
the whole
more
time.
No.
And then I'll laugh.
By the way, your Lord and Savior himself, Peterson, was on YouTube for 20 years before anyone watched him, and you're acting like having long-winded conversations online is a waste of time. Everyone watches
what
this
I'm
shit.
what I'm trying to tell you is that though he is a net positive, of course he's somewhere at the surface level, and this motherfucker dances around the question of religion more than Fred Astaire. But beyond all of the bullshit that he says and the messages that go nowhere, there is some level of people where he's a net positive, and if he's the gateway drug to a better intellectual coming down the road who is a more positive Rucka potentially, then so be it.
More positive,
you know.
Rucka.
I mean, like
Jesus Christ,
a
dude.
ray of sunshine rather than
Rucka. We really want you to come back on the show.
Let me respond to this, please. You're saying you want him to pave the way for a more positive Rucka when you've got Rucka right here in your life, and you're not listening to me. You're only watching some of my videos. You're misrepresenting what I even talk about and what I do. You only watch my videos when I talk about Peterson, it sounds like.
That's not the only one.
That's the only. That's the only videos he listens to. Period.
You're getting.
It's Jordan Peterson. Look at his history. It's JP. JP reads. JP eats lunch in a cafe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you're saying we need to take baby steps. We, quote unquote. What are we taking steps toward?
Toward a more morally,
Jordan Peterson,
philosophically rich society. Exactly what you're talking about. Like embracing. Okay, you're talking about moral selfishness or whatever the term is. And I think that's a beautiful message. And to the extent that I've eaten a pot brownie and tried to explain it to people, it's worked. Okay.
Yeah.
But someone obviously smarter than I, and the majority of people are that, needs to spread the message in a way that it can reach the masses. Jordan Peterson probably isn't going to get there because you're right, he's stuck in his ways of pseudo-intellectual religiosity, but at least the core of his message is positive. But he's helping people out. Someone can build on that message and fucking take you over the goal line.
Everything he touches turns to gold, though, man. Like that's serious.
I'll give you an example.
If he shows up at a fucking park, there's like 1,000
of course
people.
He will. I'll throw you a bone. I'll throw you a bone. A guy that you do really like, and I think he does a really good fucking job. Yaron Brook is a true positive. Like every time he speaks, the message is positivity.
You know,
like
Rucka,
if you want to fucking strive, of course they are.
Yeah.
If you want to strive toward positivity in terms of objectivism, that's who I would emulate. Is that dude?
He says your friend is better than you.
Dude, the sarcasm pours out of every goddamn cell in your body.
Jesus Christ, get a fucking sense of humor.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not allowed to fucking have a fucking sense of, I'm not allowed to fucking rip on anything or fucking make any jokes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I would like do it one and then another and then the next video maybe
I would have a better fucking attitude if I didn't have to deal with your bullshit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, Rucka. So it was great that you came on the show. We had a really great time.
Hey, every experience
Can't wait
is
to
a
do it
learning
again.
experience.
No, I think, this is what happened at Kilroy with you guys, too. I remember Dima was like, yeah, I met Rucka. He's so full of himself. And then I'm like, Dima, you're full of yourself. So I was like, immediately liked Rucka more.
And by the way,
Because
that
of
conversation, which no one fucking recorded between you and Roaming, I started that shit, so you're welcome. And sorry,
you and Roaming did awesome.
Sorry,
in there.
world, that never got recorded.
That song that you and Roaming did was fucking awesome, dude.
Not the song, the debate they had
I'm talking about
at
the song.
fucking Chili's or wherever.
Look, you guys had a debate at a Chili's? What?
It was
at Kilroy?
it was the lobby. Yeah, it was the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah, we had a conversation because I'm nice to girls, but you expect me to be nice to fucking men with no integrity, and I'm sorry, but
Jesus Christ.
I am old school. I fucking challenge you to a duel. That's how I roll.
So do I.
A rap battle.
Still with a smile on my face.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, dude. Like, you got big late 90s. Like, you're a 90s guy. You know?
I thought it was 2000s.
Or was it 2000? I thought you were
a 90s guy?
Yeah, weren't you making music in the 90s? Like,
I was 10 years old in 1996.
Yeah, I was going to say, this motherfucker's my age.
Oh, so it's 2000s. Okay. Well, it's still a long time ago, man. It's like 18 years ago. It's a long time ago.
No. Wait,
You know?
have you ever...
You've been doing it for a while,
You've
man.
never made a Jew video, have you? Which, by the way...
I've done plenty of Jew videos.
Yeah,
Have
do you
you?
listen?
I've
You
done a
don't.
few,
We've
yeah.
already established you don't listen to any of his shit.
What are you
so.
talking
Yeah.
about? All the China and the black
Yeah,
and the
China,
white and
China,
all those.
North Korea.
Oh, I was going to talk about the
Vegans.
the Believe Her video because you got a little
Ooh.
little fucking keen Easter egg in there, which I loved. So I was going to give you mad props for that.
What's the Keen Easter egg?
You had a picture of Keen pop up on the screen for a second.
Oh, Commander Keen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
just-
Oh.
That was fucking mwah.
That was your gaming channel. That's
Oh,
where.
I don't recall you being such a Keen fan.
Yeah, he grew up on this
Dude,
shit.
are you kidding me? We had a
He
whole
said
conversation about
He said
this.
he was better than you at it.
That's how I got into Rucka
That makes-
Reacts.
He's a
Yeah, that
Keen
makes sense
champion.
because you're from Russia, the Soviet Union. Probably the only game you had there was fucking Commander Keen.
I love
Tetris.
you launch this new channel and you like pick the top end fucking video game options that we have.
No,
in Keen
listen.
for
When you told me to
Keen.
watch that, I was like, "Oh my
I thought it
god,
was
it's
awesome.
Commanding." None of you fucks knew what it was.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
because
know.
that was my childhood.
I remember.
Motherfucker.
I remember Teenage Mutant
That-
Ninja Turtles on
The
computer.
blob
That was
with the
what I
two
remember.
eyes that runs at
Yeah,
you
yeah.
real fast,
Mhm.
dude.
Yeah.
That was my nightmare.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, rightfully so. By the way, let me respond to what you said a minute ago. Many people agree with you. Many people who agree with me, they agree with the point that Peterson could be having a positive impact by getting people to think a bit more, to take an
Yeah.
interest in philosophy, to clean their room, quote unquote. Many people agree with you. My thing is, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I also know irrational ideas, they don't lead to a positive place. Irrational, the rejection of reason, history shows does not take us to a positive place. So all I'm asking for is clarity. And when I say I criticize Peterson on one thing, why don't you try this? You think you're so tough bringing me on here to fucking insult me in front of your vast audience? Why don't you try
front of
criticizing
10
Peterson?
people.
Let me finish, Sean. Why don't you try criticizing one thing Peterson said, watch the internet eat you alive, and then tell me how nice you're going to be after that? I want clarity. I want clarity. I want to focus on our differences. I want disagreement, and I want to get to truth. And when I hear Peterson or anyone else saying something that I disagree with or that I want to understand, I'm going to speak up because that's what Martin Luther King did.
Could you not, and this is the last thing I'm going to say on this, could you not use it as a springboard into positivity? Be like, listen, this motherfucker talked about whatever it is.
Like Martin Luther King.
About hierarchies or
Martin
whatever.
Luther King's like a positive.
And then be like,
figure.
while I appreciate that message because it's a net positive,
Yeah.
I think where he could improve is XYZ. That would be coming from a place of positivity into
shit.
let's go into a whole
we went really
great
late.
thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
what do
Since that was the last thing you're going to say on this, I'll say this and then you cannot respond. I am being positive. I'm fucking out there. Everything. You're not watching my shit. You're speaking in these broad generalities saying like, oh, you're dark and sarcastic. You've barely watched my shit. And to the degree you've watched it, you're just fucking dismissing it. People like when you're fucking funny. They like when you're fucking witty. All right? I like it. That's what I like to do. I can't not be me. Who do you want me to be? Jesus Christ.
This is you. Like loud in your face and like that's what I would get. Not like this passive aggressive like this motherfucker. Yeah,
I don't do that. Loud in your face and obnoxious.
So we've established in this interview, Dima's getting a tattoo of Jordan Peterson's face on his face.
Yeah, by the
even
way,
though he's going to lose his job.
Dimitri, hey, tough guy. Next MythCon, why don't you get on stage and talk about Jordan Peterson being a quasi-intellectual religious nut or whatever you said here today? Why don't you get up in front of all those geniuses? Why don't you get up there and on live streaming on YouTube call Jordan Peterson a pseudo intellectual and see how easy it is to deal with these fucking people.
Yeah. All right, last question of the podcast is
Dima would do it, though.
I would.
Yeah. He has nothing to lose.
Beyond all of these pseudo intellectuals, and you cannot name a single objectivist, you fuck. Is there anyone who you don't someone out there who you respect, who you would say, hey, here's a guy or girl who's not full of shit. I would not badmouth them, and they can't be an objectivist. Is there anyone out there?
I don't badmouth people at first. I just criticize them. But when I think like Ben Shapiro or someone is being an asshole, I fucking scrutinize them for it.
I mean, like, give me a thought leader besides yourself, obviously.
What is thought leader? There are no thought leaders. Nobody's fucking thinking anymore.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is so you believe that the world is morally bankrupt and there's no good examples.
No, listen. I think like whatever fucking like Sam Harris or even Peterson or even to a degree Shapiro.
Bill Maher. He's
to a degree Bill Maher at times. These guys are interested in ideas, but like I said, they won't deviate from the backyard that they're allowed to go. And I'm not blanketly positive about all objectivists out there. A lot of the times I disagree with how they're presenting the case or their appraisal. A lot of objectivists really love Jordan Peterson. They think he's like so cool. They're apologists for him. And I'm like, do people understand philosophy?
Yeah.
Do you understand what happens when you reject reason?
Yeah,
but it feels like a level of nonconformism. It's cool to hate on what's popular.
I think it's a really good last question here. I know we're going really long, and everyone in the studio's pissed at us.
Well, hold on, Sean. It feels like nonconformism, but it's not.
I want him to respond.
Well, no. What is your opinion on Joe Rogan?
Oh, good question.
No, it's a good question.
Than what was saying.
Joe Rogan's bigger than Peterson. Joe Rogan owns the world.
I don't fucking care. I don't listen that much to Rogan unless his guest is that interesting to me.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with him, but he's not. I don't find him that curious.
Well, because Rogan made Jordan Peterson. The reason Jordan Peterson's on the scene is because of Joe Rogan.
Well, it feels like the goth version of intellectualism. Is you're
Joe Rogan made Ben Shapiro too.
Oh, you guys like Ben Shapiro? God, that's so.
That's what
so
you think
popular.
about.
Well, it feels that way if you're not that smart, but if you understand, you understand how benevolent and patient I am, if you understand the fact that I stood face to face with Shapiro and said, I'd love to see you talk to your own, and he bullshitted me then, and he's done these drive-by pot shots at Rand since then. And the other day, someone tweeted at me a video that I haven't watched, but the guy quoted that all these Daily Wire fucking closet homosexuals. Nothing wrong with that, but don't don't fucking be in the closet. You got to be honest and come out. Yeah. All these guys are sitting around talking about how dumb they think Rand is. They want to talk shit. Oh, they're not. But it's gothic when I fucking have some criticism for anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's funny. It's Ben Shapiro is just in Milwaukee, and Brian and Dima.
No, it wasn't me. Fritz.
Oh no, sorry. For Brian and Fritz, we didn't get our invitation. It must have got lost in the mail, Ben. But we didn't have tickets to the after party, so they just showed up and went in anyways. And Brian's hanging out with Ben Shapiro, and Fritz gets kicked out.
Well, of course
they removed him. I'm the optics are terrible. The 6'4" Nicaraguan guy gets removed from the Ben Shapiro after party event. Security was like, "See ya, you're out of here, buddy."
He's not white enough.
Yeah,
sorry.
When I started making music, everyone told me, "Oh, you can't do it this way. You can't. You're white. You can't say the N-word."
Yeah.
But I fucking did. I made the music that I wanted to make, and everyone said, "Oh no, here's how you're supposed to be a rapper. You're supposed to go downtown Detroit with a fucking bulletproof vest on, freestyle battle rap with whatever miscellaneous motherfucker won last week, like the movie 8 Mile.
Yeah.
And, work your way up and pay respect. I said, respect? I don't fucking respect anyone. I'll fucking tell you how this is going to be. And that's always how I've done it. And everyone said, oh, you're so negative. Oh, you're such a fucking, you're not supposed to do it that way. Who makes these rules? I never signed up for this shit. That's always been how I operate. And you think I'm going to fucking hand this shit over to some fucking Drake Avenue fucking...
What?
It's just Drake.
Drake.
Drake Street or wherever.
He's not
Canadian.
He's not gonna know the reference.
That dude's Canadian.
That's not what he's referring to the street that
Michigan.
I almost live on.
Michigan.
Yeah, I know where you're from. I fucking watch out. I know where your people's people.
You guys might be related, actually.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
We could be. I bet you have Russian blood, you fuck.
Oh, I found this out. Ben Shapiro's an inbred.
Do. Look at me.
Ben Shapiro's.
Look at you, exactly.
Did you know this? Ben Shapiro's an inbred. All right, on that we gotta go.
I don't know.
No.
Hey,
no,
listen,
he is.
Listen,
He's 100% Ashkenazi.
Yeah, he's 100% Ashkenazi. He's inbred.
all of us are inbred. No,
we're not. That's the thing.
What are you
Conan
talking
O'Brien's inbred.
I don't.
He's 100% Irish.
Listen, I got Tatar blood, so I'm good. Listen, Rucka, we fucking love having you. I love your misanthrope ass and everything you put out there.
We miss you.
I think it's a good balance to the other shit that's out there. So I respect all the people who subscribe, especially to Rucka Reacts. I know that's a more serious channel than It's Rucka, which is hilarious. And
we'll be in LA again next year. And
we love the content that you put out. No,
in real life.
There's no way you're not gonna at some point be in the Midwest.
You guys hate each other.
Just chilling. So.
I'm just.
What?
You guys are like brothers, man. You guys fight. It's funny. You're from the same fucking 3 miles.
We're from the same whatever.
Half mile.
Half mile.
Half mile, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rucka. Well, we're gonna let you go. We got to get these people out of the studio. Thanks again.
Yeah, you gotta get all those people out the studio.
Dude. No, they got like jobs to go to in the morning.
Down.
You know, like fuck that. Who works?
I'm also.
I like that official radio send off just now. Rucka, we love everything you do. Keep doing it.
Peace out.
Fucking,
yeah.
What is this shit?
Every video.
Telling me all fucking hour that what I'm doing isn't gonna work.
Every video you make is platinum.
And then you pander to the masses. That's how you send them off.
No, that's just
we love everything you do. All right, well, thank you. I'll be back. What were you saying? You're going to be in LA, Sean?
Yeah, we're gonna be in LA next year, dude. We're gonna hang out again. It's gonna be awesome, man.
We're not making any announcements.
We can't talk.
Oh, at MidCon in LA.
Well,
listen, don't blow your load yet.
Yeah. We'll know soon.
We're doing
It's gonna be massive.
We're doing no nut December. Okay.
It's gonna drive me crazy.
Sounds like another great conference for me to attend without being invited to speak.
Son of a bitch. I knew it. I knew he was going to say it. Dude, all right, Fritz, go ahead, stop it. Because I'm going to give Rucka shit about this off air. It's fine.
Bitches.
Later.